Hi everyone, we're in my bedroom. I have a display cabinet in here, but what I wanted to show you is down here. It's a little dark in here. Okay, there, a little bit better light. And I have elephants made of various different materials. There's jade and quartz and just a lot of different things here. All sorts, all sizes of these things. They vary greatly, and different materials. Where's that wood one? Oh, this one is made out of a piece of burl that's been carved into an elephant. My partner loved elephants, and therefore there are a lot of elephants. There are elephants, and I got rid of hundreds of them, literally hundreds. But anyway, why am I showing you these? Because these, I'm going to use these smaller ones here. I like this little rock crystal one, but I'm going to use these to create a soap mold. And just an idea that I had, and you're going to come along with me while I make it. So here we go. So I've taken, what I have here is a baking dish, just one of my mother's old Pyrex baking dishes. And I just did a test run just to see how many I could get in here. And I got a full herd. The little malachite one, cute. Anyway, I've got them all lined up here, I think, in the style I want. I'm not sure. I may play with the order a bit, or I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is I have some melt and pour pieces that I've made here a while back that I'm not using for anything. So I thought I'd remelt these and put a base down in there and then sit these down in that before I pour my silicone over it. That way it'll hold them in place, but at the same time it'll hold them in place, but it'll also not react with silicone. The silicone, I'll spray this with a release so that it won't stick. And I think that'll do the trick. So let me do that. I'm going to get this melted first, and then we'll come back and we'll get to work. Right, so I'm remelted that. I'm going to pour that down in the bottom, a very thin layer. Don't need very much. And then I'm just going to set these back in here, like so. That's it. All right, so now I'm going to mix up my silicone. Spatula here, and I did learn I can use a spatula as long as it doesn't stay on it. It's fine. It won't bond to it. It only bonds to it if you leave it on. So for this purpose, it's fine. And that way I can get all of it out. Now, I've noticed that some of the other silicone companies have the B part, it's two different parts, A and a B, colored. And that way, when you blend them, it's easy to tell when they're mixed because it becomes a solid color. And I can see an advantage to that. And when I was at the store when I bought this, they actually sold, I noticed they had a tint, T-I-N-T, that you could buy to color your silicone. And I see the advantage of that now. Now, I don't seem to have any trouble mixing it. I've done it only twice, and both times it's worked just fine. So I'm not concerned about that. But if this is something where you did have a concern, one way to alleviate that would be to add a tint to it. Here we go. Oh dear, I don't think this is going to be too much silicone at all. It's not going to be enough. You know why? Because this thing is wider at the top. I forgot about that. I just didn't put that into my equation. But I didn't have enough silicone anyway. So it's covering all of them except for the very top of that one and the very top of that one. So that's a problem. But I've got an idea here. As soon as I get all this in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray something like a rock with some of the release and then stick that in to hopefully push the volume of the silicone up. I know it sounds kooky, but it just might work. So what I thought I'd try is I have this little, and it's heavier than it looks. It's a little anvil thing, but I don't know if I can get it in there without damaging my elephants. I think it's too wide. It'll hit them. Okay, that won't work. So what I did stick a, move this over a little more. Crud. I took a spatula and just put the handle under one end. It tilts it enough where at least this gets covered. It's not perfect, but fingers crossed this will work. Okay, so we're set up now, and I thought it might be a little challenging. Just want to break that vacuum. There it comes. Oop, almost had it. Got it, I think. It slipped back in there. There it is. That's just the soap in the bottom. Oh, I didn't think about that. In between the feet and the gut. So I'm going to have to make some incisions. Okay. Let's see. Try to make it easier for you to see it. Here's what I'm doing. Okay. Go all the way up. Okay, I pried a bit and I got the first one out. So that's a start. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll try to keep the camera going this time. see where the head is. Okay, there it is. So I figured out if I just make that little incision, then I can just kind of pop them out like so. So he says. Oh, you know what? I think this one has a looped trunk. You know what I mean? The trunk goes all the way from the nose and then attaches to the chest, so the silicone is through the trunk. No? Yep, that is what it is. Okay, so can you imagine what this is going to be like making soap in it? That's exactly what it is. Okay. I need a third hand for this. Yeah, there's silicone through the trunk. You see what I mean? The silicone had gone through and kind of created a lock on it there. Okay, that's 2 out. I hope there aren't more with that kind of a trunk. I didn't think about that. That one came out pretty easily. Let's get this big one. Okay, I think we have another locked-in trunk. So I should have thought this out better. Because these that have the loop through the trunk, it's going to be the same with soap. So either I'm going to have to leave it in here for a week and let it thoroughly harden and cure, and then do the same thing I'm doing with these elephants, or it's not really going to work very well. And that's unfortunate. I should have thought that out better. So I'm making these mistakes for you. Maybe you wouldn't even make these mistakes, you know, I mean. Okay, so I've got some melted here. Now I'm just going to pour it in. I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about anything. Right, so I don't know how delicate these might be. Look, oh, how cool. I like that. Okay.
I didn't know if you saw that one or not. Pretty cute, huh? Just clean up the feet a little bit, but otherwise... Oh, sorry, I wasn't showing it to you. There's the little one. Now, let me line these all up here with their counterparts. There they are. What do you think? I think it's a success myself. I mean, they're here, they're in one piece. Took a little trim work on that final mold because, as I said, you know, anytime you have something with the hole through the trunk like that, or through the flower, whatever the case may be, I had to go through and make a little incision to pull the silicone out. So yay! I thought it was a fail, but I think it's going to be okay. So thanks so much, everyone.